Vultures, the world's most efficient scavengers, are facing severe threats across the world from man-made chemicals entering into their food chains. The decline of 3 Asian vulture species, namely the White Rumped Vulture, Gyps bengalensis, Indian Vulture, Gyps indicus, and Slender Billed Vulture, Gyps tenuirostris, is one of the most rapid declines in wildlife species seen anywhere so far. The populations of these species have declined by over 99% in the last 3 decades, mainly due to their exposure to livestock carcasses containing residues of a veterinary painkiller, Diclofenac Sodium. This documentary brings you face to face with the behaviour of these majestic birds, the threats that they are facing, and conservation efforts being made by the Society for Action and Research, or SOAR, to safeguard the last remaining populations of these birds in Gujarat, India. India is the country with the highest livestock population in the whole world. The cow being a sacred animal in Hinduism, it is worshipped as a mother goddess and not consumed for beef in most parts of India. The dead animals are dumped in a particular place outside the village or town, where a specific community, the skinners, skin the animals and sell the hides, bones and horns to various industries. The remaining carcasses serve as food for scavengers. Vultures thus play a crucial role in this ecosystem by cleaning up all these carcasses and keeping a disease-free, clean environment. The White Rumped Vulture, once considered the most abundant bird of prey in the world, is now a critically endangered species. These vultures, which were previously seen in thousands, are now a rare sight. Gujarat, the westernmost state of India, still holds a sizable population of these birds, along with Indian vultures and Egyptian vultures. White Rumped Vultures, like other Gyps vultures, are gregarious birds. They live in colonies, often near village ponds where old, large trees are present. The birds start soaring in search of food, often scanning areas as large as 100 square kilometers. As soon as they see a carcass, they land and feed in flocks, consuming the entire carcass within a few minutes. Bathing, drinking and sunning follow after the birds have eaten enough. In the evening they return to the communal roosting sites. Their breeding season starts from November and ends in May. White Rumped Vultures nest on large trees. Often the same are used for roosting. The nesting is also done in colonies. The incubation period is of 45 to 50 days, and the fledgling takes its first flight after 3 months. Both parents take an equal part in the incubation and rearing of the chick. Since the 1990s, Diclofenac Sodium, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, has come into the veterinary sector, and unintentionally this drug has become the reason behind the rapid decline of the Gyps vulture population. Vultures become exposed to this drug while scavenging on animal carcasses containing diclofenac. The vulture's digestive system, which is considered to be one of the most robust digestive systems in existence, and is capable of digesting the pathogenic microorganisms found in rotting flesh, is incapable of digesting this man-made molecule. Soon after the consumption of diclofenac containing flesh, the vulture's system stops working, and within 72 hours they die due to renal failure, leading to a condition called visceral gout. Excessive accumulation of uric acid on vital organs. This can be seen as a white, chalky powder deposited on visceral organs during the post-mortem of such birds. By the time the researchers were able to discover the reason for the decline in the number of vultures, it was too late, and over 95% of the population of the 3 main South Asian vulture species was lost. The government of India quickly reacted to this catastrophe and banned the manufacture and use of this drug in the veterinary market in 2008. Being a very cheap and effective drug, the human formulations of this drug are still being used illegally on a large scale in the veterinary sector. In 2016, the government of India finally banned the use and manufacturing of any multi-dose diclofenac formulation in humans, thereby ensuring a decrease of illegal diclofenac formulations in the veterinary market. The substitute safe drug, meloxicam, is still almost double the cost and not as effective as diclofenac. Now, even other veterinary painkillers like aceclofenac and ketoprofen have been proven to be toxic to the vultures. Other threats, like the use of pesticides, loss of habitat, and injuries caused by man-made situations like kite flying, high-tension power lines, etc., are adding pressure to the already declining population of these birds. In Gujarat, Soar has been working for conservation and monitoring of these species. Active awareness campaigns, with villagers, veterinary doctors and students using literature specially designed in the vernacular language, distribution of meloxicam at a subsidized rate to the veterinarians, and regular monitoring of vulture colonies have been the most emphasized aspects of our work. In Gujarat, there is a very powerful social and religious system called pandrapols. They are the shelters where unproductive and sick cattle are kept and given all necessary care until they die. As these cattle are very weak, the death rate in these pandrapols is quite high. The dead animals are dumped in a specific location of the pandrapols. Such dumps have been regular feeding sites for vultures for many hundreds of years. Regular monitoring of some of these sites ensures that no vulture-toxic drugs are being used there. In the absence of vultures, other scavengers such as feral dogs, pigs, mongoose, and other birds, etc., feed on the decaying carcasses. They are not as efficient as vultures. It is seen that these dogs become more ferocious and start attacking livestock. They also pose a risk of spreading deadly diseases like rabies and anthrax to human society. The recent step of a complete ban on the manufacture and sale of all multi-dose diclofenac formulations, and conservation efforts being taken at grassroots levels by various organizations and individuals across India, have now started showing some positive results. The rates of vulture declines are decreasing and the populations are becoming more stable. It is of vital importance that we save these magnificent scavengers from the brink of extinction so they can soar into the future without facing such unnecessary man-made threats.